Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mondoid, your one-stop shop for all things Project Zomboid. And this week, Sprite of the Living Dead, a blog post about a lot of the stuff they've been working on for the past month or so, which is great. After the past two really quick, short, happy holidays blogs, it's good to be back into the swing of things. I'm really personally happy that the holidays are over. Don't get me wrong, I do love the holiday days themselves, but all the days leading up to them are just filled with stress and spending money you don't have. And it's a drain. It's a drain on you, and it's a stress on you. And on top of that, I have 3 birthdays all around the same time. I have my mother's and my brother's birthday at the end of December, and then my sister's birthday just immediately after New Year's by just a few days. So not only am I spending money on Christmas, but I'm spending money on birthdays, and it's goddamn obnoxious if I have to say. So that's where I sit on the holidays. So anyway, back to the blog. Let's focus on the important things here. So anyway, welcome back. It opens up quite simply with a welcome back. Honestly, this blog has 2 things to really focus on. One is the new modeling. So if you weren't aware, Captain Binky, or Binky, whatever you want to call him, has been working on porting over basically all of the files from XNA to OpenGL. And if you've been following his Twitter, which I definitely have been, there's really fun tweets about how frustrating it is. And, you know, his pain and frustration is our entertainment in the long run, really, both in the game and, of course, laughing at his pain. So he has, what it sounds like, done most of the hard work, is now ported over to OpenGL. And what this is going to allow them to do, as far as I understand, is really just have animations and do the 3D modeling a lot easier. It's just a much better system, I guess, for them to do it in OpenGL. There's a lot of technical mumbo-jumbo that he kind of leaves out, which is good because I personally have no fucking idea what the difference is between each one outside of maybe one being easier to program for. But he has finally done most of it and actually has some stuff to show for it. There's a video here that I think you guys should go check out that I watched most of, and it shows the new 3D modeling sprites. What this new 3D modeling is going to be, outside of less of a burden on your PCs, is going to allow for a lot smoother and better looking animations. And you actually get to see a little bit of that in the 3D zombie sprites right in this video. So go check out this thing. It looks really good. But in my opinion, the most important thing that it's going to allow is for some massive optimizations. It's going to be easier for your graphics card and for lower end PCs to be able to render these 3D sprites, or these 3D models rather, not even sprites anymore, these 3D models on your PC, because as they brought up before and as they talked about before, newer PCs and newer graphics cards are not meant or built to render 2D sprites and 2D environments anymore. It's actually a lot more taxing on the PC than it would be if it was 3D, because that's what these cards are built around. It's funny that these backwards compatibility things, we're even seeing, we're even seeing on PCs the same kind of issues we'd see on consoles. The reason a lot of the consoles don't want to do backwards compatibility is because it require more work and would hold back a lot of the systems. And the same thing is happening with PCs. So rendering 2D stuff is a lot more difficult for them in a lot of the cases. So moving over to 3D is going to be a lot better for a lot of you. You won't see that frame drop that we have all been seeing recently, which is good. Me particularly, I've been hitting, and a lot of them, sure, I've been hitting in the city, the frame drop that goes down. So having that happen is really, really nice. And they talk about a lot of the things that they're going to be able to do. They're saying sprites won't go away, but you'll be able to render a lot of the zombies in 3D modeling. From what I understand, this is going to be a lot of texture improvements and texture memory for not needing all the character animations basically preloaded for living people, with a relatively minimal cost of drawing one model, while lower specs may struggle with zombies, though perhaps have the closest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zombies rendered in 3D. High specs should be able to have improvements across all characters and everything between. Again, a whole bunch of really good optimization news. For all the details, I suggest you go to the blog and read it yourself. I don't like to go verbatim what the blog says, but big thumbs up. I'm glad to see it's actually starting to come into action now. Then there's 2 more parts, Event in 1 and Event in 2. So Event in 1 is the stuff you all care about. It's the stuff about NPCs and all that good stuff. So basically what Lemmy's been really hardcore going back into NPCs, and thank God. I mean, I get a lot of messages on my videos of playthroughs, hey, where are the NPCs? When are the NPCs coming? It's kind of like the most demanded thing on my videos is when are NPCs coming, and I, of course I don't have an answer right now, but as of right now, he's working on implementing some new meta events as well, because that's going to help with NPCs and such. Right now in the game, there's a couple of meta events. There's like helicopters and there's gunshots, and that's about it. As far as meta events are concerned, right now he's working on generally getting the sadistic AI director in motion for the time the NPCs come. As such, we're going to be implementing more meta events, a bit more intricate than the current gunfire helicopter noises. You'll find scenes of gory horror in buildings, find burnt husks of buildings, dead survivors at the feet of their killer, and so on. As well as this, we are working on new implementation of the zombie migration and distribution to hopefully allow for more exciting extremes as flippantly or cruelly decreed by the sadistic AI director to give player more stories to tell. So essentially what I'm getting from this, and what you all should be getting from this, is more variety is on the way very, very quickly. Before NPCs come in, presumably, we'll see a lot of these meta events implemented into the game, and once again, it's going to add a lot of variety to the game. No longer will it just be the static map with a couple of noises off in the distance and zombies roaming around. We will actually have opportunities to walk in on horrific, horror scenes with, like you said, dead bodies at the feet of zombies and stuff. And all this will be implemented, again, from what I understand, prior to the NPCs going into the game. And again, it's going to add a lot of fun, a lot of diversity, a lot of variety. Again, for so much fun that the game already adds, having this added into the game is going to kind of freshen up the experience for a lot of people, including myself. I'm really excited to see what is going to be added, or what kind of variation or how much fun and story is going to be added to the game with these new meta events. And of course, when those NPCs hit, we'll have a whole new ball game ahead of us, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. The final thing is event in part 2. So on January 25th, if you're in the Newcastle area or not far from Newcastle, there's going to be a kind of group gathering of the developers and fans. They want to keep it low-key with limited numbers at first, so they don't have any idea how many people would want to come. But you can find the Eventbrite ticket right over here, the doodah right over there. Once they have a firmer idea on numbers, and they'll think about expanding, and of course sort out the venue. It'll be 18+ deal though, because there's going to be alcohol involved, and in England you have to be 18 to drink, so that's kind of cool. And it'll also be worth noting that we'll also be at Rezzed in Birmingham in March too, and we'll do something similar then. Again, I wish I could be there, guys. I really do, but I don't live in England, and I don't have the money to fly out there. But maybe one day we'll see each other. That's gonna be it. A bit more of a detailed Mondoid than the past couple weeks, which is nice. Some really cool stuff to look at and a nice video to go check out. So I suggest heading over to projectzomboid.com and clicking on that blog thing and checking out what the blog has to offer this week. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you're one of those once-a-weekers, I will see you next week. If you are a regular, I will see you later today. And as always, I'll see all of you next time. Bye-bye.